So it's been a while, and it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't have a cup of coffee with me. But in this video, it's not even a vlog or anything. I just wanted to talk about the Myers-Briggs personality test, or the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs type indicator is more like it. And what that is, for those of you who don't know, it's a personality test online. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. And a little bit of background information. I think it was made by a mother-daughter duo, and they both studied personality and psychology and things of that nature. So I'm sorry if that's wrong. That last time I studied that information itself was my senior year of high school many years ago. So yeah. Well, with that being said, I myself am an INFJ. INFJ. So no matter what you are, if you're new to it, you're going to get assigned a four-letter combination, and that will kind of like group you. I mean, I don't want to say group you, because like this wasn't meant to be the be all end all of your personality or like who you are as a person. Just because this is what the test says does not mean that's who you are, and like you can never stray from it or ever change. But as of right now, I'm an INFJ. I actually have been from the first time I ever took the test, and I've taken it multiple times just to kind of like solidify or confirm that I am what I think I am. So I remember my senior year of high school, I took a psychology class. I loved it. I love psychology. I think it's one of the coolest things to study, and so I was extra pumped whenever I got to do that in college, where that counted for like my gen eds and my liberal studies, and I was like, oh, I get to study psych. That's so cool. Like it's just like a continuation from high school. So I thought that was really cool. But in my senior year of high school, that was the first time I ever took the Myers-Briggs personality test, and I thought it was awesome. Because as a misunderstood high schooler, I had taken it, and I was like, dang, this is like this is pretty spot on. And I maybe found, like, out of an entire personality test, this thing that ran for like pages upon pages of reading. I read all of it thoroughly, and there was maybe like one thing that maybe was like not 100% correct about me, but like 90% correct. But like everything else was like spot on, and it kind of freaked me out. And so like I took it my senior year of high school. Then I took it again in or the gap year between that and college, and I took it my freshman year, my sophomore year, my junior year. And so I'm pretty sure that I'm an INFJ, because I've gotten it consistently every single time. And I've taken other the Enneagram. I'm not sure. I'm a type 6 in that, and actually I like was like looking it up, and it was like type 6 people, if they ever take the MBTI test, tend to be like something of this nature, and in the list INFJ was one of them for type 6 in this. So it was kind of just like kind of a good point of like solidifying that I am what I thought I was. So I wanted to make this video to kind of not even not even talk about like the seriousness of the personality test. I wanted to look at some memes and some funny images, and as an INFJ male myself, I wanted to be able to either confirm or deny some of the things that are on the internet, because when I look up INFJ videos on YouTube, I don't know why, but it's always like some robot speaking. The only people that I've ever found that talk about being an INFJ are or that like directly talks about being an INFJ is Frank James, which I love that guy. He's so cool. I watch all of his videos. Um, but all the other personality stuff, like I found this one video that's kind of like bashing on INFJs. I was like, okay. So I quickly turned that off. But I wanted to go ahead and look at some memes. So I'm gonna go change this over right now to be able to. Oh, and by the way, sorry about my bedroom. I changed location, so you can now see like my clothes all thrown around. So I'm gonna just change the settings on my computer real quick. And I'm not one. I don't really look at. This actually just made me think of it. Seeing like Virgo up there, I don't really believe in that stuff. Like the month you were born having like that much of an impact, or like that stuff being necessarily true at all. I don't really know about it. I've never really read into it. I think if you're born on March 5th, I think it's Pisces. So I would be a type 6 Pisces INFJ male. But I wanted to go ahead and read some of these things on here. You might be an INFJ if animals are drawn to you like flies on, on crap. On crap.
What's your profanity?
You can't stand people but really love them also. That's true. I actually have like I can't be around people for too long because they just oh man, they just suck the energy and the life right out of me. I'm a homebody. I love sitting at home and doing absolutely nothing. And when I say absolutely nothing, I mean sitting in a chair staring at a white wall for 5 hours. You would rather die than socialize most of the time. That is not necessarily true. Uh, I like to socialize, I would say. Like, if I guess it would kind of depend on the context of the situation. Like if I'm out and about and like say I'm with a group of people, there's like a posse of like 9 of them that are like kind of talking to each other, and I kind of see like one person still in the group, but like no one's really talking to them. I wouldn't rather die than socialize. Like, but this happens way more frequently than you would think, and I all the time go and hang out with the person that's by themselves. I like almost am never with the group, like the big group. I always go to the person that's by themselves, and I always love to talk one on one and get to know people that way. So it would depend for this number 6 right here. It would depend. Leaving the house is a full time job. Hell yeah, and hell yeah, it is. I hate leaving the house. I am a homebody. I am a true homebody. Like to number 7. But we're gonna go over to INFJ memes because I love me some good memes. Uh, this is this is probably one of the most true things. One of the most true things I've ever seen. When you're busy, but someone is in need of sharing their life story with you. I cannot tell you how many times and I never ask them to tell me. Like, I don't know what it is, but people are like, oh, this guy. Like, I can just start telling this guy my entire testimony. I can just tell him my entire life from the time I was birthed till now. Like, they're like, I can tell him every excruciating year and day within my life up until this point. And I can see it in their eye. It's building, and I'm like, no, please don't. And like I can see them. They're like building up the comfort with me, and then they're like, hey, Brett, can I? And I'm like, here we go. And I sit there and I listen to their entire life story for the next hour and a half. And I had to leave like an hour and 40 minutes ago, but here I am still listening, and I'm like, oh, oh, are we almost done? Like, but I'm never gonna say it out loud that I gotta leave or anything because they gotta get it off their chest. So yeah, this very very true. I was kind of hurt by this one because of the truth in it. Every time you ask an INFJ even the simplest question, they're like,
I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking.
It's not happening, Tim.
is 2 plus 2 4? Is it? An INFJ when you lie to them. Okay, let's just get this out there. I know when I'm being lied to. I don't know why I know. I seriously wish I could explain better why I know. But it's like there's just this unexplained knowledge that like whenever someone is talking, not only do I know whether they're lying or not, I know their motive behind saying what they're saying. Or I know what the goal is for them in saying what they're saying. I know what they're trying to get to. And I know the reaction that they want, and I know like what to do even before they finish saying what they're saying. Say that a week ago they had gotten to an argument with their significant other, okay? And they never had any resolution in that argument, and they felt like they were right in the argument, but they didn't get to tell anyone. So now it's a week later. I wasn't there at that argument, and they don't tell me about that argument, but they come up and they start telling the story of the argument, and I already know from like the first few sentences of the story, I'm like, oh, they got into an argument with their loved one, and there was no closure and there was no resolution to the argument, and they think they're right. They're telling me this because they want validation from me, who's a third party, to confirm to them in their mind and in their heart that they were right in thinking what they were thinking in that argument a week ago. And I don't know why I know it. I just know it. And then whenever, like, say something like that is happening while my girlfriend is there, and we'll walk away, and I'll be like, oh, so like I don't know if you caught on, but like this was happening, and she's like, how did you know that? Like, they never brought that up. And I'm like, I just know. And she's like, no, you don't. I'm like, yes, I do. Like, I'm like, I just know. And then if we ever come across that person again, I'm like, hey, what? Were you telling me that because of this, and they're like, yeah. And I like look at Jenna and I'm like, now how many times of me being right about stuff like that is it going to take for you to realize that I'm not just trying to be arrogant and cocky and saying like I know what they're talking about. Like it's like no, I don't know why. I just have this innate knowledge of like what they're talking about and I know what they're doing. So it's really weird. Okay. All right, enough on that little rant. I hardly ever get into rage or to a point where I'm like furious or like really angry. I freak myself out by how easily I could verbally destroy someone. It's freaky how easily we can see another person's weaknesses. People are lucky we're so forgiving and hard to piss off usually. I don't have a short temper, but I do have short tolerance for fools. I don't suffer fools. If there's a person who's very foolish and very immature, you won't find me around them for over an extended period of time. If someone is very childlike and very immature and says like really stupid things, my tolerance for it is very short. I don't get absolutely ticked off and furious, shaking, angry over stuff like that. But if I do get like that, it's bad. Like there's been times where I've gotten so mad where like I legitimately black out. Where I get so in a rage that like my eyes start to blacken and close in and I feel like I'm passing out. And then like I'll like just continue on like doing stuff, like saying stuff and walking around and like moving. And then like I'll come out of my rage and like a while later, like my girlfriend or one of my siblings will be like, we're saying this stuff, and I'm like, when did I ever say that stuff? So like the fact that I'll speak in a blacked out rage, that freaks me out. It freaks me out by how easily I could verbally destroy someone and how much I know their weaknesses. I know how to verbally tear someone apart. I know with just a few short sentences, I can destroy their self-respect, their self-esteem, and I know that I can crush their spirit. I don't do it. I don't think I do. Like I haven't even been mad at anyone enough to do that. But this right here, this stuff is very true, I'd have to say. I think we're gonna leave it there. I might actually make another video like right now, like right after this, I was just thinking that this video itself was going to get too long, and I didn't want it to be too long. I just wanted to make a video for my channel because I was seeing that MBTI videos were kind of like making an appearance on YouTube, and how they're starting to pop up more and more in my recommended section. So I was like, hey, why not? Why not make some videos to talk to the INFJ crowd, or those who want to know about INFJs? Yeah. So I'll see you guys next time.